Does the same thing.
Yeah.
So you can run it without the light.
Yeah.
And it still
It can still work. No, that's
Okay,
really,
ladies and gentlemen, ladies, be quiet. I need your attention. We're recording. All right, in 3, 2. All right, we're back, and we are in the lead quarters. This is Professor Paul Markle, the pimp hand of America. Why am I the pimp hand of America?
Because it
Why
needs
not?
to be slapped.
Because this country needs a slap. It's not a job I was looking for, but it's one that I accepted. And of course, we are in the lead quarters. Thank you very much to Marty and Talking Lead for opening this up to us. Yes, indeed. And we, of course, and well, maybe not, of course, but we are at the NRA annual meeting 2023. Yes,
in
Indianapolis, Indiana. So we've got from my right, your left, we have Heather.
Hello, everybody.
We have Kayla.
Hello.
Yeah, remember this is video
Yeah.
or audio, so make sure you say hi.
We're not doing video at all?
And
There's video.
No, there's video. And Dave.
howdy.
And Dave is here, man. So
Dave Biggers, ladies and gentlemen.
that's right. Dave
first
Biggers,
time
part
on?
of the
I said
Dave.
Scar. No,
Dave-
I've been with
Scar,
you
sorry,
before.
Scar.
No, I told you I prefer to be referred to as Scar or Mr. Scar if you're not into that
No.
brevity thing.
That's not on his business cards. His official Ed Brown Products business cards
I
say
don't have one yet.
David
As
Biggers
soon as
on
I
them.
do,
You
it
got to
may
be
say
cool
Scar.
to have a name like Scar.
That's right. And
You got
Heather,
to start somewhere. I say you start with a name
Wasn't
and
that
it
the
makes
Jungle
you
Book,
cool.
or was that
The Lion King.
The
Lion King, yeah.
You're also
yeah.
not allowed to give yourself a nickname.
That's true.
That's not cool. You can't.
That's
do
right.
That.
Someone has to give it to
Okay, we
you.
just were mentioning that one rapper. So who gave him that name? Oh, that's right. He gave it himself.
Well,
there's this Prince guy.
but we're
I don't
rappers.
recall anybody
Guy.
saying, "Hey, you're going to call you Prince." No.
Oh, hang on.
No, I beg to. The pimp hand of America.
Well, it
Excuse me?
wasn't a job I was looking for. It was the one that I was given.
what about
But
Lefty?
no, let me tell you this. Who called you Lefty?
I earned mine.
It was a
There you
squash,
go.
right?
I earned mine.
Right?
Lefty.
Yeah. So
Actually,
Actually-
it was our good buddy from Ackless to Fish, Charlie.
Charlie.
Rest in peace.
Heck yeah.
he called you left hand?
He came up with why they call me Lefty. Yes.
Ah, cool.
I'm not talking about the nicknames I've had on here.
So to clarify,
Has to do with
I used to think that as well, Dave, what you thought, but Prince is actually on his birth certificate. That was the name that his parents gave him.
Oh, wow.
Now, he had a middle and a last name, but his first name actually was that. And his father was a very famous jazz musician. But I digress. This is not a pop culture show. Or is it a pop culture show?
It should be.
It could be a pop culture show. It could be any damn thing I want it to be. How's about that? Because I have a microphone and you don't.
But I do.
Ah, okay. All right, starting from my right, your left. Heather, what do you want to say?
Just we're happy to be here at the NRA show. We got to launch James's book, which was an amazing experience. It was the 4 Pillars of Fighting. We could not have done that without Paul. He was absolutely incredible in helping us get this out, and I think I speak for Kayla and I both when I say this was a little bit of an emotional experience for us, right?
Just a little.
For sure.
But we're so happy to be here. It was such a great turnout, and it's just been incredible.
Yeah. Kayla?
So, like, the behind the scenes action to get all of this stuff done, like, Zach and Jared have both been incredibly helpful. Shout out to Zane DeGaines for that cover. Like, I literally was like, hey, the picture I have in my head is like 4 crumbling pillars, and then this is what he turns out with. Like,
thing that was in your
yeah.
head.
Like, it looks incredible. And then thanks, of course, to you, Paul, for helping get the Glock stuff set up. I said helping, like I did something with it.
Actually, thanks to Jared for being the ambassador. Jared was the ambassador, the diplomat that made that happen. But and thank you to Glock for donating a G19.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We gave away a G19 today to a lucky winner, and I said to Zach, we've got a picture of him. I said, what's his name? Zach said,
I know his name. It's Rich Vandehegg.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rich.
he won it.
Congratulations, Rich. If you're listening to this, great. If you're not listening to us, well,
You should be.
you're wrong.
But no, and then thanks to everybody that showed up. We have tried to carry on my dad's legacy and to do things the way that he would have wanted them done. And everybody has been super open-armed in the gun industry regarding that. SHOT Show kind of gave me a renewed sense of okay, we've got this, because so many people were just excited to see that we were still doing something. So thanks.
And I do want to make sure that we publicly acknowledge Night Vision sites, Night Vision for donating product, PowerTech flashlights for donating product.
Thanks, Rob.
KnifeKits.com.
Steve Andrews.
Yes, for donating. And also, NSR.
NSR
Tactical for also donating. Yes.
With Mike Farrell.
Yep. So Glock, NSR, KnifeKits.com, PowerTech flashlights, and Night Vision Precision Tritium. And it was the actual student of the gun accurate sights for the Glock 17, which were done. Speaking of guns, our friend Dave Biggers, of the Dave Biggers Experience, and also of Ed Brown Products, has 2 GATs. He's got 2 GATs with him. And why do you have 2 GATs? That's not a 1911.
Well, I have old school and I have new school.
All right, lean into the microphone, sir. We're gonna
I have old school and new school.
Not that much, you mongoloid.
You're so old, Dave.
All right, now, well, tell us about it. Come on, this is your opportunity to tell us about Ed Brown Products.
So Ed Brown started doing 1911s,
Custom 1911s,
roughly 1969.
1969.
So
Good
they've been
year.
around a while, and very high grade stuff, very precision fit. Literally back in the time where people were not doing that. And so he was one of the early pioneers of doing the full house custom 1911s. They've been doing that for a long time. And then recently, what they came out, they were looking for opportunities and some other things that they might be able to do with other models. And so one of the things that they settled on was the Smith & Wesson M&P. And it's got bells and whistles on it. I mean, it looks cool, but the secret sauce in that is not the looks. And this is one of those things that I wish I'd thought of, because normally there's a locking block that comes in the gun. They have to be relatively generous, particularly on the polymer guns, because things move around a little bit. Well, it's Ed Brown. Ed Brown does not do loose tolerances.
They don't move
around.
around.
An option. Yeah. And so they actually came up with what they termed their accuracy rail. The accuracy rail is an oversized locking block that is custom fitted to each slide. And that is called the Fuel Series, because you took something and you fill it up and you get better performance and it goes faster.
There you go.
And so the lockup on those guns.
Show me where that is.
It's actually down inside.
It's inside.
It's right down in here.
Okay.
And the rail section is beefier, and it was oversized, so you can't take an M&P slide and put on this gun, it won't fit.
Okay.
But you've got more contact area, and if you notice, this is extremely tight, the slide to frame fit. You're normally not going to get that. And we also do the polymer model, but this was the more recent one, which is the steel frame M&P, and it really changed the gun a bit for the better. But am I close enough?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And
just checking.
how much trigger work is done? Because giving credit to Smith & Wesson for creating what they created, the original factory triggers have been described sometimes as mush. I think that is it. So,
I could always feel the hinge, and it if you use trigger reset, it would mess you up, because the hinge that you could feel in the trigger, when you were coming off it, you could feel it coming both ways, and it would feel like you were at trigger reset before you were. So I really like their upgraded one, though.
Now, Dave, would you say you've got a lot of experience with the M&Ps, right? Would you say that it's fair that the more, kind of like a Glock or any other one, the more you shoot them, the better the trigger feels?
Yeah, it all smooths out.
It smooths out.
In the first gen M&Ps, and they addressed this with the second gen, the first gen had a horrible reset. you couldn't count on it. You had to let it go all the way out like you did. So if you tried to chance it, it may not reset. You took it all the way out. So they'd already made an improvement on the trigger, went to the Gen 2. But there was still a little bit of room that we thought. They're doing 2 different models. The polymer models are currently using the Apex.
I was wondering about that. I was going to ask about Apex.
And
if you can't think of it, don't say the wrong thing.
I'm not going to. They just, like I came on board yesterday at noon, and I'm still trying to catch up with everything. But
Dave is an NRA special release. He's an NRA exclusive.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, it started out as
He's
a
an
joke. I said, I'll be making special appearances at different places, and one of my friends said, well, let me know when you're going to be, and, we'll post it on the daily events. And I'm like, I'm just joking, buddy.
No,
It's
I'm
just
kidding.
a thing. And then it's like, I'm a pretty big deal. Somebody's going to give me a job because they want that publicity. So
There you go. So now Ed Brown obviously makes guns. They make custom guns, but they also make parts and components.
Yes, they do. They make parts, components, and they also make magazines. And they make extremely high-quality magazines made in the USA, lifetime warranty. And we even have a special going on.
Oh,
magazine.
they got a special.
Not just the magazines, but I have a goodie code, which is good through the 30th of this month. It's 20% off parts and magazines at edbrown.com, and the coupon code is NRA 2023. So, yeah, they make mag wells, they make hammers, they make oversized safeties. There's a lot of stuff that you can go in and kind of spruce up your 1911s if you want. And they make great magazines. You can never have too many magazines unless you're trying to swim with them.
That's right. So it's is it just edbrown.com or
edbrown.com.
edbrown.com. edbrown.com. Okay. Kayla, you think that's a great idea? Tell me your thoughts about Ed Brown pistols.
1911. Is that really what you want me talking about? No. So
No, I saw you put jerky in your mouth. I'm going to ask her a question right now.
You notice I've done this before. He tried to hand me the no, dry mouth.
and do little bites, but no, that is one of the. I joke with people. I'm just like, no, 1911s are too sharp and pointy. There are too many buttons because they're like pieces that stick off that you don't have on your typical polymer framed guns. That one doesn't have near as many buttons and sharp edges and things that make it uncomfortable. Like it was comfortable.
Yeah. Speaking of 1911s, where did our friend Matt wander off to? Did he wander off to Cabot or did he?
Who?
Matt Dorito.
Matt.
You know Matt Dorito, right?
He was in here?
Well, he's here. He was at the
He coming to the book launch.
event.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean he was in the booth.
Well, no, he wasn't in the booth. We need
haven't
to
seen
get him
Matt
in the
in
freaking
years.
booth.
Yeah, I would love to see
We
that.
need to get him in the booth.
I'll text him.
Somebody text him and say, "Come to the Caltech booth, Matt, and do not leave until Marty sees you."
8263? 8363?
Yeah, so that is that, Mr. That's that. So, and what's interesting to me is I've been in this business for, I can safely say 30 years.
I was thinking like the 1800s or
Yeah,
so.
it's since 1897.
Edison, they
I
had
know.
to invent the radio.
It was during his midlife crisis. So
Yeah, exactly. These young pups, these late comers.
Well,
these 30s be
I've
hitting
been
different.
paying attention to this industry since I was 16, and what most people don't know, and I say this just so that you'll have an appreciation, and I don't know if people actually can have it because they didn't experience it, but like, okay, Grandpa, sounds like a good, cool story. But the okay, Grandpa, cool story is this: in the 80s and even into the 90s, if you wanted a 1911 to run reliably, especially with anything but 230 grain ball, I want to run 185 in mine. I want to run 200 wad cutters in mind. I want to whatever. You did not do that with an out-of-the-box gun.
Nope.
You did not. And what people would literally do, not figuratively, is they would literally order a 1911 from whoever they could get it from at the time. And generally it was either Colt or Springfield. Or
It was Colt. Springfield
Colt.
really wasn't.
Yeah. I bought a Springfield in a mil spec in 91.
Well,
Yeah.
a lot of what you're talking about literally took place in the 70s, and I know because I did it.
Yep.
You bought a Colt 1911.
Standard box stock.
You dropped at least $1,500 on it because they had
That's
to
a
ramp
lot of
and
money
throat
back
it
then.
and put sights on it. Yeah, because in a decent
Well,
safety and a trigger, then it might run hollow point.
Right. You got it, and then it went immediately from you
Yeah,
to a custom shop.
yeah. You didn't even shoot it.
You didn't even shoot it. You just
Right.
you just took it in the box. Thank you, and you shipped it to Ed Brown. You shipped it to Bill Wilson. You shipped it to Cylinder and Slide.
Yep.
Who are some
Richard Heine,
of the Heine and
Bianchi, Pockmeyer,
who was the Armand
Swinton,
Svensson. Yeah.
and also King.
Yeah.
King Gunsight. They
Walt
did custom
Roush
work
had
as
an
well.
Armand Swenson 1911.
Oh, those
Yeah.
were awesome.
Yeah, but you sent it to them with a check,
Yep.
understanding that they would probably get back to you in 6 months, if you were lucky,
Oh, shit.
a year,
Maybe a year.
on average.
Yep.
We have a real life photo of the group of protesters outside.
No,
What is it?
there 4?
There was one
It
out there
really is.
yesterday.
Ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen, there are 4. Beware.
Like we saw
There are
probably 30 or
4
40 at
protesters.
lunch.
I heckled them last year, and this year I thought, if I don't have a job, I'm going to join right in the middle of the crowd. Kill the NRA, down with the, violence, hey! But, now I'm official, so
You
I
have
can't
a
do
job,
that.
you can't do that.
I wanted to go do a video interview with one of them.
There you go. How stupid are you? That's a question
Like,
of the
hey,
day.
I just got a couple questions. Like, you call me a baby killer, I'm gonna call you an idiot, and then we can move on from there.
Now you're dealing with people that literally do not have the brain capacity to think rationally.
Yeah.
They consume so much soy and fried food and garbage that they don't have the brain capacity to have a rational argument.
You do realize
It's like
that if
arguing-
Alec Baldwin had been a
arguing with a
member of the
dog.
NRA, he would have never pulled that trigger without checking first.
That's true.
Fact. Fact.
Now, gun safety rules are not for me; they're for thee, and they're not for Hollywood people. But let's get back to talking about guns and stuff and things and stuff and junk. So, what's next for tactical response?
So what we have coming up immediately is the all-girls pistol class, Magnums and Mascara. We're gonna. It sold out 2 weeks after we announced it. So we're gonna do another one this fall, and this is a class like tactical response and American Gun Chick or her Honey Badger. We're not really making a whole bunch of money off of it. It is just to get more girls involved in this and get them comfortable with training. We have just taught the John Wick class and our gun foo.
Gun food.
Yep, Rock
Yeah.
Rock Galati, Lewis, Joey, and I had lunch out at SHOT, come up with the idea and everything, and didn't realize it was Easter weekend. Did not realize it was Easter weekend. So Rock asked him, he was like, "Is it okay?" Because I said I was only going to do this one time. Is it okay if I do it again in the later on this year? They all gave him the thumbs up. And then we're dipping more into the political arena. I will be going and making regular rounds at the state legislature through all the offices and just talking to the representatives and the senators there, telling them, like, hey, what you're trying to do ain't gonna work.
Did they push that bill forward? Did they move the college bill forward?
No, so the chairman in the Senate, like, in my opinion, single-handedly held that bill, like, it killed it right there. There were 3 other representatives, because it was a 5-3 vote to not pass, but there were 3 other people there who said, if you can make this amendment to it, I'll vote for it. And when they said that, they're like, let's roll over. That the House rolled it over for these same amendments. Like, how about we roll it over? And the chairman was like, nope. Like,
Well,
okay.
All right.
Me and you ain't
Then-
friends no more.
Well, then he
I don't
needs to
like-
be.
He needs to be out.
He needs to be unemployed the
Yeah.
next.
Special shout out to Senator Kerry Roberts out of Tennessee. He gave a very compelling speech talking about how, as a government official, it is not your responsibility to come up with new rules for the people. It's your responsibility to uphold the Constitution, and that clearly what they were talking about was a violation of the Constitution. He said in Tennessee, like Tennessee state constitution says you should be able to carry a gun unless. And with what they are doing, he said, we make them like you can only carry a gun if. And he said that's not okay. That's not what we're responsible for. So I like political crush.
It's amazing how many people are elected to office without any familiarity with the Constitution whatsoever. It's almost like they go out of their way to avoid it.
They don't even have to take the one that's on the citizenship test.
Kids. Well, here's the thing. It's not really. I was talking to somebody earlier today and saying, well, it's not really going to matter. All of this stuff that we're talking about is really not going to matter when the criminals in Washington D.C. devalued the dollar to the point that we're carrying it around in wheelbarrows like in Venezuela, where money is blowing down the street and no one will bend over to pick it up because it's so worthless. I'm at the point in my life, and I'll say this on the radio, and I'll say it to anybody, and all of you AFT scumbags and all you NSA scumbags that are listening right now. I'm at the point in my life where I'm not surrendering anything. I can read, I can speak English. I know what the Constitution means. Rights do not come from government; they come from our Creator. And there's a reason. I wasn't planning to get on a soapbox, but there's a reason that they're pushing this gun control stuff so hard right now. There's a reason why they're orchestrating these mass killings. It's because you need to be disarmed before you're fighting over food.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they know that's coming. The people in Europe are just going to starve because they don't have the ability to fight for their food. They're just going to starve. The people in Australia are just going to starve. And we are it. The United States of America, the people of the United States of America are the last impediment to worldwide global tyranny. Where are you going to go?
Exactly.
Where are you going to go? People are like, oh, well, I'll just move to, okay.
And that's what makes this so trepidous right now, is because we are.
We're it. This is the last castle. And if this castle falls, there's nowhere else to go. Where are you going to go to China? Where are you going to go? You got to go. And they were making actual inroads in South America, and the globalists decided, like, no, we can't have that. They couldn't have inroads in Brazil, so they pulled a Biden. They pulled the 2020, and they got rid of there was a president that was making reforms and actually giving people back more liberty, and they're like, we can't have that crap. You got to go. So what do we got over here? Marty's bringing in more guns.
Oh no, the Kraken case. Have you been exposed to the Kraken case?
Kraken? Is it
Kraken or Kraken?
Is it crack-a-lackin'? Is it crack-a-lackin'? So there's a Kraken
what's also
case.
about it is this memory foam that it has. So take that out there, Paul. Play with it.
Oh, okay. So you can stick anything in it,
Try to
and it'll stay.
Pull your knife out.
Pull my knife out.
Pull your knife out. Run it across there.
Oh, run it across there?
Yeah, run it across there.
Oh, okay.
And then anybody got a lighter or something with fire? It's like, I don't know how many, like 1,000,000 degrees resistant on heat.
1,000,000?
1,000,000. I don't know. You take your suppressor off after you've shot a mag or two through it. You can put it on there, close it up.
What are you taking the pressure off with? Not with your hand.
Oh, oven mitt. Or
Okay.
I'm gonna have the ogre do it for me.
So right after my dad gave me the AK Occam, like the Occam AK,
Yeah.
it had a silencer on it, so I took it out to the range. I'm like, doo-doo-doo, like loving it. Life is great. And then went to get in my car, and I was like, shit, it's still really hot. Don't know why I thought that a diaper was a good
no.
barrier, and it melted around the silencer. So I was just like, I just melted a diaper to a fucking. Oops, sorry.
It's my show. You can leave it in. If it's Paul's, you might want to
To a silencer, like an
here's-
expensive gun.
Here's the good news. Take it out and shoot it again and get it really hot, and it'll burn that
Right,
diaper
that's
right
what
off.
that's what I did. That is what I did.
Put something big in here.
So way back before funny melting story, before Duracoat had the can technology that makes it super easy to do it yourself. This is like 12, 13 years ago. I was walking around Walmart, and they had, have you ever seen patio furniture spray paint?
Yes.
Yeah, I have.
It's textured.
Yeah.
It feels like when it dries, it feels like dry sand. And I thought, ooh, I had the idea. I was like, oh yeah. So I had an AK. It was one of the BM ones, one of the not expensive BM ones. And I took it out, and I did the whole thing in it's desert sand color. You know, this spray paint, this patio furniture paint. Cool story, bro. I went out to the range, shot about 3 mags, and it was smoking. Like that paint was not heaters. It's
Yeah, not
heaters.
protected
so.
against high temperature.
Oh, that's something. Huh? So, wow. So is this from Kraken, Crackalacken?
Kraken case. Yeah, new case company on the market.
Well, there you
They've
go.
got rifle cases also.
Crackalacken.
New.
Nice.
They've got smaller iPro.
I like
Having
that.
the single lock.
Well, but not only that, like the memory foam that you don't have to get a separate cutout for
Really?
each thing that you're going to store in that. Like you
That's
can just
really smart.
Yeah, you can just put like if you
That was
when
the
me and
whole-
Joey flew to Vegas
Yeah.
trying to
whole
put both of our
purpose.
guns in one case, that would have been like perfect for something like
Yep.
that.
And then you can
Yeah.
double stack if you want. Tough enough to overstuff the Kraken case.
Yeah.
So Kraken,
Tough enough to
You can burn
overstuff.
it, you can cut it, you can try to deform it. It's going to snap right back in there.
Well, that is
The memory
cool.
foam.
Crazy.
That is cool.
Kraken memory foam, ladies and gentlemen.
Kraken memory foam.
Use the code LEADHEAD.
Use the code LEADHEAD when you go to kraken.com.
For 20%,
20%.
20%
Is it
off.
Kraken?
15.
Is it Kraken
15% off.
cases?
You're trying to. Kraken Case Company is krakencases.com.
Krakencases.com
Absolutely.
with a K, not with a
You just
CR.
happen to be giving one of these away with a P15 holster and 5 extra mags and a flashlight here at the Celtic.
Here at the Celtic booth.
When is that happening?
You need to go register as soon as we get done.
Sweet
You don't have to
Buddha,
be
it's
ready to
almost
win.
5
We're gonna
freaking
announce the
30.
winners.
It is almost 5.
Oh, wow.
Like the show is going to be done when we're done.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's crazy. It's crazy. All right, we're sitting here being completely and totally unprofessional, eating jerky and talking about Kraken cases and all kinds of stuff. But
And eating. Oh, you talked about the jerky, didn't you?
yep, and
Yep.
eating the ABC
Yeah, it
jerky.
is.
Well, let's go ahead and pimp the jerky. We're gonna pimp. What kind of jerky is it? It's pimp jerky. There you go.
Yeah.
Brave experience, live natural and free.
Give me a piece of that.
Angus jerky. There you
He
go.
said, "Can I get another one?"
All right, all right.
I don't have a
So,
code
unless
for
we
that.
have anything else to say, this is what we're going to do. We're going to rippity wrap it. Thank you to Dave Biggers from the Dave Biggers Experience, also from Ed Brown Products. Thank you to Kayla and Heather from Tactical Response. It's tacticalresponse.com. Thank you to Paul Markle, the host extraordinaire from Student of the Gun. Thank you to Jared and Zachary, who's not here. I think Zach's having a emotional breakdown somewhere. From and of course to Lefty himself, Marty from Talking Lead. And we'll come back with more from the NRA annual meeting in the Keltec booth. All right, at Indianapolis, Indiana, 2023.
I was tired,
Whoop, whoop.
ladies and gentlemen. It's late in the day.
It is.
This motherfucker's been talking all day long.
Introducing our new belly band holster. Whether you're hitting the gym or running a quick errand, our belly band is one of the most comfortable and safest ways to carry your firearm. The center section allows you to carry most common pistols. Left or right-handed, this has you covered. A hard laminate trigger shield protects the firearm's trigger from unwanted intrusion, giving you ease of mind while carrying every day. 2 elastic sleeves give you the flexibility to carry other everyday items, such as spare mags, flashlight, knife, or pepper spray. 2 zippered pockets run on both sides, offering the option to carry smaller items such as money, cards, or keys. Flush fit on your lower back or waist, easily keeping your setup discreet no matter how you choose to carry. Utilizing 3D spacer mesh, these channels allow for exceptional and efficient airflow, giving you maximum comfort and keeping you cool. Carry whenever you want, how you want, with our new belly band holster. Available now.